Let's do this thing. All right. I am so glad you all are here. Otherwise, I'd be doing this alone. Welcome to relationshipping101.com. So, this is the program that you all asked me to create, and I'm super honored that you all pivoted me into becoming a relationship coach because participating in this program will increase the every single relationship in your life. Now, let me just start by saying one, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this. I'm going to go ahead and let us go live here. And let's see if we could go do that. Then here we go, because what we're doing here is creating a safe space for everyone to be vulnerable and share their hearts for who they truly are. And that's the first step in knowing who you are well enough that you can build relationships in every aspect of your life. And that includes your relationship with your inner voice, your relationship with yourself, your physical self, your relationship with your intimate partner, or I'm actually going to help you bring one in if that's what you want to do, and your relationship with work, with money, with food, with family, with your kids, with your parents, with your community, with every aspect of your life. That's what this program is all about. Now, a lot of the angle that I'm coming at it with right now is your relationship, an intimate relationship, and bringing in an intimate partner. We needed to start somewhere. What I super love that I've learned is, again, from all of you, is that you don't outgrow this program. You can find an intimate partner and bring them into your life. And then what we've learned is that we can share from chemistry to casual to committed, all about being in a partnership and how to make sure that we're connecting in a beautiful and healthy way, and that everybody is getting out of the relationship what they would desire. And then even I've got married couples in the group, and they're sharing with me, again, all of those activities. So you don't outgrow relationships. And I really wanted to join a club that I wasn't going to outgrow. So I created one. With that, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And then there's a PowerPoint. It has to have a PowerPoint. So let me know if you could see the PowerPoint. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something in the chat. Thank you. So you, my clients, have created a relationshiping coach out of me because life is better with good love in it. And through this program, every relationship in your life will improve. You'll have the ability to grow even your best relationships. So come see how life-changing this series is going to be. I'm Michelle Hoffmann. Are you ready for relationships to go your way? So as soon as I get into this PowerPoint, I want to jump out of it. And if this will work, then this is going to be good. And I'm going to use the chat, but I would like to start by making sure that we all are using the same language. So go ahead and use the chat. Can you tell me, how do you define relationship? What is a relationship to you? Anyone? I see everyone nervous to speak. Okay, so it's the back and forth. Good. It's being with others. Thank you. A two-way road. I like it. A connection to someone or something. These are great. Partnership and commitment. Mutual respect. Oh, I like this one. Relate in motion. This is awesome. Ready? Two people in the same ship. I like all of this. And I really like that it's not defined by one type of relationship. Constant growth and learning, also really nice. Okay. Vulnerability with someone. These are beautiful. These are really, really good. This is exactly what I was hoping for. So that's super good. And now I want to know how this is going to work again from the current slide. So somebody give me the thumbs up that we're back to the standard PowerPoint. I think we're good. Okay. So back and forth, being with others, the two-way road, a connection to someone or something, partnership and commitment, mutual respect, relate in motion, two people in the same ship, constant growth and learning. This is great. So the presenter view, does that mean you're, let me just try again and make sure we're on track here. I think we should be good at that point, but give me the thumbs up if it's good. Thank you. All right, so our definition of relationship was not just one person going into the dating world and finding that one partner. Communicating that both of you are on the same page. Gorgeous, love that. So the Oxford Dictionary has it, the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. The state of being connected by blood or marriage. I extend that out of being connected by love. So I have family related by blood and family related by love. And I just see some of you on here. The way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave toward each other. So the reason I want to start here on what is a relationship is because it applies to all of us, no matter what kind of love we want to bring into our life, what kind of work we want to bring into our life, whoever our family is, whoever our kids are, whatever we're going through, they're all relationships. So I just wanted to start there with that beginning. And all of this is all about why. Why should we be in a relationship? And that's just, it's like we could be on an island all by ourselves. But if I could wave a magic wand and you were on an island all by yourself, you might make a hut, a tropical tiki tequila bar. You might go fishing. You might sing songs. You might use whatever skills you have to entertain yourself night and day. Notice the changes in the season. And at some point, you might be wishing for something more. So I want to take a moment to thank you all for coming. I'm so excited that you're here. You're going to love what I have to share with you. And I've got some gifts and surprises for you throughout the presentation and at the end. So what I'd like to know is if you are somebody who for a long time has wanted to take action to create and rebuild the way you feel and live your one precious life, making every day a dream come true, and you've wondered, what are the missing steps? What's the secret? What is it that the happy people holding hands out on the Facebook world or out on the beach, or you would imagine if you were on a deserted island, who would you want to have with you? And how would that change things in your life? What I'd like to know is in the quiet moments of the night, what are you really wishing for? And when you see it in other people, do you ask yourself, how is it that they somehow have it all going on? They somehow are totally independent. They know how to make fun on their own terms. They're able to communicate. It always looks like it's picture perfect for them. And somehow they connect with their family in such a way. And if they have kids, they take care of the kids respect and adore and come to them for advice. And at some point through the years, The kids come to them full circle and reach out to support them as you supported them or as they supported you. And you wonder, how do these people do it? They've got this boundless energy. They're emotionally balanced. What is the secret? Can I get a piece of that pie? So here you are. Imagine, if you will, you're on your deserted island, which in reality, it's not actually a deserted island that I'm referring to metaphorically, but it's your life. It's your world. And it's whatever you would like to create it to be. And at some point, you're wishing that there could be some additional way to enjoy what you've got here by enhancing the relationships that you've got going on in your life. And the big question I'd like to ask you at this point is, do you know yourself well enough? And can you articulate the messages you are sending out to attract the relationships you desire? And those could be professional relationships, and those can be personal relationships. This is the hardest part because we can think it in our head, we can see other people doing it, but oftentimes we have no role models to take us from that deserted island on our own to craft the message and send it out in such a way that someone else can receive it and acknowledge and connect in all the right ways. You deserve the right love for you. So let me just take a moment here and say the art of relationshiping is what we're talking about. And the fact that you're in this program, I've cleared the first group, but as this webinar goes into recording, please, it's intended for 18 years and up. Being live in this program means you're authorizing your image, voice, and likeness to be used. I've cleared all of you out for the most part, so we should only be seeing me and the slides, but you're welcome to change your name or just put your screen up. This particular webinar doesn't have any particularly sensitive topics, but my guest speakers may bring something up, and throughout the actual course, we may be approaching topics that you might consider sensitive. So be aware of that. Please define the word and our understanding of relationship as it is appropriate to you. It's meant with all goodness and love. And I also know that we all love in different ways, that we are inclusive and accepting, and we embrace all of it. The concepts are intended to apply to all relationships. And I've invited the most exciting guest speakers in so that it's elevating more than just my voice. By working with me, I am pulling some of the best to share with you their subject matter expertise, which will then elevate the entire conversation. And I've invited them to offer some of their services to you. Please know you're empowered to make the right decision for you. I've invited them that if you do choose to work with them, to make it a really good deal by using my name and the connection with me. So P.D. Eastman here says, "Are you my mother?" And it's this little bird going around trying to find the right person who fits the bird's character of mother. And I've adjusted it to, "Are you my lover?" Because we're going to start this at the angle of making sure that we have the right love in our lives. So my next question for you: what challenges are you ready to solve? Maybe you've been thinking about this for a while and you see other people have it all going on, like we were talking about before, and it seems so easy and graceful for them. But in your life, it might feel overwhelming or stressful or boring or disappointing or frustrating, or you've got a date and you're so excited. This could be your dream come true. This might be the right match. You might have a job interview and you've gotten all dressed up and you're ready and you're sweating and it just was out of alignment. It didn't go the way you wanted. And then you're so disappointed and you feel cheated. And it doesn't always feel like life has turned out the way you planned it, leaving you with misaligned expectations, dealing with a narcissist, burnout. any of this overwhelming scenario. Would you like to play a game with me? I would like to play a game with you, and we're going to call this game of life Relationship Ready. And here we go. So, if you have a pencil or pen or something, great. If not, go get one, because here's how this is going to roll. I am going to share with you just some of the challenges that I've helped people overcome. And what I'd like to know is if you resonate with any of the things that these other people have been challenged by. So, do any of these people sound like you or someone you know? Relationship challenge number one, and just put a little tick mark, and add up all the hashtags as things go. Oh, yeah, I have felt that way before. Oh, I know someone who has. So, the first relationship challenge is givers, and givers are really good people. They illuminate the dark spaces. And one of the things givers need is help identifying red flags and green lights in relationships. So the relationship challenge for a giver is I do the right thing by taking care of everyone else first. I prioritize others over doing what's in my best interest for my life in the long run. And a giver's inner voice asks questions like, when will it be my turn? Will I miss out on love in my life? When I'm busy taking care of everyone and everything, who is taking care of me? So give yourself a little check mark if any of those things sound like you at some point. Next relationship challenge. I either protect my heart and I don't allow myself to get close, or I totally give up all my power, identity, schedule, and priorities, which leaves me to the mercy of my partner, or alone. And this kind of person's inner voice says things like, why don't my partners make me feel safe? How am I supposed to be in a healthy relationship if I never had good role models? Will I just deal with it so that I can get the good part of the relationship? Why am I with people who are uncertain about what they want, leaving me repeatedly heartbroken and alone again? Will I be scammed or taken advantage of? They might only be attracted to me to get something from me. If I do attract someone fantastic, it's probably too good to be true. So if any of those have crossed your mind, give yourself a little hashtag. We're going to add these up later. How about this relationship challenge? I don't trust myself to make the right choices in intimate relationships to create an enduring love that lasts. And this kind of person's inner voice says, will I be hurt again? I have difficulty navigating challenges in relationships. What's wrong with me? I'm not that unattractive. Should I do something drastic to get love? I'm not good enough, young enough, wealthy enough, or sexy enough to be in a relationship. These are all the misaligned expectations in relationships. And then the questions of should I stay or should I go come up. Then, of course, there's those people who have trouble navigating obstacles in relationships so they can get into them. But oftentimes the inner voice on these people say things like, I don't feel safe enough to be vulnerable. I am not confident in communications. I please others, but they don't return it. Do you find yourself as the caregiver, the fixer, acting like the parent rather than the lover? I have not found someone with whom to partner who wants to create a relationship with me, and so much more. How about, I don't feel like I add enough value in this partnership? This inner voice says things like, I'm responding to external pressures rather than our relationship, or am I? Am I worthy of being in this relationship? Am I worthy of love? Will I be hurt or used if I stay in this relationship? What would happen if I were not in this relationship? Is it worth giving up the opportunity? Any of those things, give yourself a check mark. Okay, this is one we've seen many movies about. I'm worried I will lose my relationship if I don't push it through to commitment. Am I ready to be in a committed relationship with this person? Do I have to make this decision right now? How do I know this is the right person for me in the long run? Other people want me to be happy in a relationship. I'm not unhappy in this one, but I'm not certain we're in alignment. The train has left the station. I don't have a choice but to move forward, whether it's right or not. This is like when people are stilted at the altar. Could I be missing out on my soulmate by staying in this relationship? The chats are going to kill me. Right. It might create a thermonuclear war. You're right. You're right. This is all about attachment styles and narcissism and should I stay or should I go? How about this relationship challenge? I don't have the power and control to be seen and heard with respect and admiration in my relationships. Will I be hurt if I'm too beautiful, says this inner voice? Will people like me if I'm too brilliant? Will anyone love me exactly as I am? Will I be rejected if I don't do what I'm supposed to do? I fear being invisible, unheard, and ignored. If I don't invest in myself, am I letting myself down and letting life pass me by? Give yourself a check mark for each of those that might apply. This relationship challenge is we've grown apart, but we stay together for other reasons. The inner voice says things like, why can't my partner save me? Are they a narcissist? How can I move forward if I'm stuck here? Would everyone be happier if we were happier? How could I have made this mistake? Will I just make it again? Is this all there is for my life? Is there someone better out there for me? And this is all about should I stay or should I go? Just deal with it. It's also about reigniting the sparks in romance, marriage, and your intimate life. And it's also about the secrets of happiness and how to get there. Okay, I know a few of you who overwork yourself to provide for yourself and your family. And this challenge person says to themselves, I am right at work. I always have to be right and win. The game, the argument, the decisions. I work until it causes health problems and my relationships suffer to the point where I am burnt out, alone, and I worry no one will want to be with me. This inner voice says, will I ever have enough money to feel safe and secure? Will anyone want me if I don't appear to know it all and have it all? Will anyone respect me if I get something wrong or don't win? Will I ever be able to feel stable enough to have any fun? So give yourself a check mark for each of those. I think I've just got one more here. Relationship challenge. We've created a no-win, no way out situation, and we are at a standstill. In this relationship, something is going to explode. And the inner voice says, could we both be wrong? Could we both be right? Is the issue at hand more valuable than our relationship? Neither of us is willing to back down. Is this situation the end of us? How can we trust again? And if I run away, might I find myself in a similar situation again? All right, you did it. These are compilations of clients who I have worked with and helped through every single one of those situations. And I'm going to share some of their stories with you in just a minute or two. So there are 20 possible points in this game. And what I'd like to know, and you can put it in the chat for me here, is if you gave yourself a 1 to a 4, then let's help you rebuild your relationship. So I'm looking at the chat to see people's numbers. If you counted between 4 and 8, pay attention. We probably need to talk. If it was 8 to 12, really listen up for what's been going wrong. And if you clicked on 12 to 20 or more of those, you may be in a risky situation. So I'm seeing numbers like 5, 8, 6, 7, 12. Ooh, we've got a 19. Okay, we will be connecting after this. This is somebody who has not already known me, so that's good. So you got an 8 for the individual categories. Perfect. 11. Awesome. 2. Very good. All right. So the goal here is for you to get a little bit of an assessment of where you're at. And it sounds like some of you may benefit from learning what we have to share here. And what I want to point out is listen to these emotions and what they're signaling to you, because your emotions are like a GPS system and they're telling you something. So you may be going the wrong direction. You may have been trying to do this for a long time. It's totally okay to bring your relationships further and ask for help with it. It's time to take care of you, because then you'll be in a better position to take care of others. Thank you for playing that game with me. Are you ready to see how I carry people on one of the most intimate journeys of all? Because this is how I start with them. We do a confidence assessment, and I'm going to share with you some of the improvements from when I started working with someone and how they elevated their relationships after a really short time and how their lives changed as a result of that. So this is where we start. We start with an inventory, and we start with 7 steps to relationship ready. And what we're doing here is we're getting a very clear picture of what's going on and where we can elevate things and we can unblock your potential. And we're also then taking a step to figure out how we can put in support structure so that you are well balanced. And of course, it's me. There's always going to be fun involved, right? So I'm getting chats on that one. Of course there is. But to really feel confident, safe, and secure in this society, to be able to have this kind of fun, we need career revenue and resource to give us enough stability so that we can relax and enjoy some really good laughter and know that we've got it all going on. And in relationships with people, we want yay for fun. We want to attract people who are emotionally balanced. So here we're making sure that we are financially, legally, and emotionally, and everything's in place in every aspect of our lives, so that when we're recalibrating relationships, we're bringing the people in who are amazing into our inner circle, and we're making way for the other people to have breadth to do other things in their lives. That's all, of course, based on health and self-care. And one of the focuses here is about peak performance and how to achieve that. And there are surprises in that of how it's really plausible. And also that luxuries or things we may consider a luxury may not be a luxury. And so they aren't so unattainable when you see what value they actually add to your life. And speaking of that, another aspect that we talk about is protecting what's valuable in your life. And that's just not physical assets. It's also emotional and relationship assets. Of course, it's me. My relationships are my most valued thing in my existence. So we talk about how do you preserve and connect and secure all of those in the right way, and also to make them feel safe and stable. I help people build an advisory board. So you've got emotional support, you've got subject matter experts, you've got people who will leverage their position for your success, and you've got accountability partners. So as you're defining your mission and vision in life, it's really easy to make healthy decisions all along the way, because you know what you're going for, and you know you have the support and structure to move in that direction and achieve your goals. All of this is designed to create your version of happiness, creating a legacy for your loved ones, fulfilling your destiny. I need music and fanfare on that one. So it's all about relationshiping with yourself, others, dependents, and even new intimacy. I'm Michelle Hoffmann. I've written 2 international bestsellers. This program, Relationshipping, is actually a balance of both. The Life Worth Living process is the one that I designed that has really now been adjusted for, quick ways to get to relationship ready. My second book, which also became an international bestseller, is New Management Blueprint. And that book is about all the professional relationships that you have. When I wrote these books, I was invited to the red carpet. They became bestsellers in 12 countries. My publisher, I've been to the red carpet events, the ebook, the audiobook, the paperback, the book signings, the interviews. I was like, wow, this is a new call to adventure that I had not anticipated in my life. And then what happened was I was able to help other people who approached me asking for me to customize their experience. And that's what I'm hoping I can do for you, if I haven't already, that I'm hoping I can do starting today. This whole thing happened when I was wishing for clear direction to success after my husband passed away, and I didn't see a way through. My biggest concern was stabilizing the children so that they could feel safe and secure and that they could achieve their goals in life after this major traumatic event in ours. And you certainly don't have to have that level of an event in your life to have this work for you. It might be a change in community. It might be a change in developmental stage in your life. Are you going from individual to a partner? Are you welcoming someone into your life? In our case, we lost someone important in our life. Are you changing jobs? Are you changing your mindset? Whatever it is, pulling all of these 7 steps together creates that clear, well-lit path for you to be inspired to love every moment of your one precious life. So I wrote the book. I've now become a life coach and a relationship coach. But before this, I've worked with a lot of companies, and I put this slide together. I realized I have helped people in their career trajectories for 30 years. I've helped them in their personal life. I've helped them in their professional life. And interestingly enough, most of those logos are black, white, and red. And I'm like, I don't know. It just made me think. But these are some of the associations and businesses that I've helped relationship through in successful ways. And I've been a keynote presenter at many different opportunities. I'm happy to speak at your location. Just connect with me. Really, at this point, what I want to know from you is, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you wait to take control of your life? The heart of any big change, trauma, or grief is a sense of anxiety. And you may get stuck in this level of anxiety. And there's actually a name for that. It's called disintegration anxiety. And it's a fear that you develop after you've gone through some traumatic experience. And I don't want you to have to stay stuck. I'm giving you permission to take control of your life. So pick up the pen in your life, write your next chapter, and let's talk about how you're going to plan this new chapter of your life with a new ego, with a new existence, with a new identity. So pick up the pen. How much longer will you wait to take control of your precious life and write your story your way? That's what Life Worth Living is all about. That's what 7 Steps to Relationship Ready is all about. And once you're relationship ready, then if you don't already have an intimate partner and you're looking for one, I can help you with that. So here's a gift for you, and I'll show you a way to connect there, is relationshiping101.com will give you an opportunity to get the free dating profile tips, the essential tips to a rock star online profile that really works. And this is a way for those of you who are looking to invite partnership in your life when you don't already have it. Again, everyone is welcome in this group. I'm starting here just to make sure that everyone has a way to get on board and start driving this road. So let's start with that. Now realize that not everybody here is looking for a partner, but again, so adjust this to what's right for you. And I'm going to speak to those of us who are looking to bring that right love into our life. And we ask, how do I date in the current world? Dating is different. The rules of engagement have changed. There's an art to relationshiping. You really benefit from a crystal clear understanding of this new self of who you are and what you have to contribute in a relationship, as well as who you would like to invite in. And this world feels like it's designed for couples. Maybe you don't want to be a third wheel. How do you go out into the world on your own? Who's going to hold your hand? Who will make sure you're okay on this journey? There was no roadmap for this. And now there is. So this is one of my clients. Thank you, Michelle. I love you. You reminded me I'm the key master to my own doors. Wouldn't you like to be with someone who is relationship ready? Yeah, they want you to be relationship ready as well. So here's what I liken this to. If you are ready to dive in to the relationship and dating waters, isn't it important for you to know that you have the skills to swim, or at least bob around and see what's out there? So when you find someone, they don't pull you down under with them if they are not relationship ready, because you want a partner who's also relationship ready so that you don't have to be saved or save them, but you can just have a wonderful time and grow as individuals and together in a partnership. All right. I would like to share with you, I'll never make it through this. Some of my clients have shared testimonials, and I would like to share some of them with you now.
Hello, I would like to share with you the fact that Michelle Hoffmann has amazing insight into people and into real life issues that affect us on a daily basis. And the advice that she
I started playing.
Gives cuts truly to the root cause of the issue. And it's amazing advice that could change your life.
Thank you. I respond the same way. All right. So someone in the chat has said, I was thinking of closing down my one online dating profile. And every time I tried to respond, I was changing the video. So I'm just going to say, I will help you through that. When you're failing chemistry, one of my clients says, you hire a chemistry tutor. When you need help with your relationships, you hire Michelle Hoffmann. I love that. There we go. Okay. Liddy, say the nicest things.
Michelle, I said earlier in the interview, so you already had it recorded, that you have been a shining light in my life since I met you. And I want you to know that I feel glowing expansion in my heart whenever I talk to you or think about you. You're amazing and incredible. Thank you so much for what you've done.
Thank you. It is my honor. What I've included here is, I mentioned that I start with my clients with a confidence index. And so in some of these, I've noted everyone has improved considerably. And in this case, it was 153% increase in confidence. in the most important aspects of life. This client quotes, "Working with Michelle changed everything. Now I'm so confident, safe, and secure in my personal and professional relationships that I can relax and have fun being my authentic self, knowing I am adored as I am." I love this stuff. This is really why I'm doing all of it. It's so good that I get that gift.
I've really had an awesome life, and I work hard to put a plan together and have a life I don't need a vacation from. Yet I still need some help in the relationship area, and going to Michelle for Life Worth Living gave me that extra boost and set me on a better path, especially communicating with my husband and my children and being able to, foster those relationships and cultivate those relationships into something even more incredible and awesome. And I truly appreciate that. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. I'm realizing that I'm making the same face as I made then, because I'm so honored that I get to walk this journey. And investing in yourself and really putting the energy into this program, you can get a 220% increase in the confidence in every aspect of your life and all of your relationships. I love you too. I had not seen my children in 4 years, this client said. After 4 weeks of working with Michelle, I learned how to adjust my relationship with my ex-husband, and he brought our children to me. She hadn't seen them in 4 years, and after 4 weeks, he brought them to her. Now we co-parent in a healthy way. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I just left this one as an outtake because it's funny. And because there was so much growth in this client who trusted me so much. I mean, he was a widower. He was in the wrong relationship. Actually, I can speak to this from his words. Your situation is different. Still, I thought I would share this unsolicited message that I received from this client who married the right woman less than a year after working with me. He didn't even imagine that was an option as a dream come true. I'm going to read what he wrote. With Michelle's guidance, I was able to clearly determine the relationship I was in was the wrong fit for both of us. Let me tell you, I knew from the first personality assessment Michelle offered that the relationship I was in was a poor fit. Michelle helped me understand what I really needed and wanted by asking those questions that really make you think. Sometimes they bring up old wounds. Nothing better than that when healing the past. It was through this healing Michelle guided me through, but I could love myself enough to find my soulmate. When I found her, I knew immediately she's the one for me. And I knew how to show her I'm the one for her because I had a better idea of who I am. I held nothing back in expressing myself in ways I didn't know before meeting Michelle. Being happily married to the right person is the greatest way to enjoy life. Okay, so I'm not cool, by the way. We go through struggles and we go through them hand in hand, knowing we have each other to build this life worth living. By the way, your hindsight is ridiculous. I highly recommend for anyone needing foresight in their life. I mean, that's super awesome. So somebody else talk. And then we do it again. Great. Oh my God. Yes, I love my job. Okay. Liddy, I'm super excited for so many reasons that you and I get to work together. Thank you for trusting me to carry you on a journey. The challenge that you and I came together that you desired to overcome is I don't have the power and control to be seen and heard with respect and admiration in my relationships. And today I feel like you do have the power to be seen and heard, and you do get the respect and the admiration in your relationships. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
Sure. So over the weekend, I met somebody new, not even close to being Mr. Right, but that's okay because I was seen. He saw me going down the hill to start a walk, and he sat in his truck and waited for me for an hour to come back so that he could talk to me. So that's definitely being seen and valued. But the thing that I most want to talk about is that I didn't even realize that I was holding myself behind this clear glass wall until Michelle helped me recognize that it's not really a wall. It's just a door. And all I have to do is push on one edge and it swings right out of the way so that I can walk through. And I feel like today I walked through one of those doors. So thank you, Michelle. Working with you is always a joy. There's so much value given and received. And opening up of my heart bubble.
Mine too. Mine too.
Thank you.
Thank you, because life is better with good love in it.
Hi, my name's Martha Senior. I would like to thank Michelle Hoffmann for the opportunity to help me through my grief with losing my husband, Craig, due to cancer. Not only with grief, but with guidance helping me think clearly with raising my daughter, soon to be teenage daughter. Michelle has been wonderful. I look forward to learning and growing with Michelle's guidance. Thank you, Michelle.
This client had a whole checklist of dream come true. And then the client says, now I am so confident, safe, and secure in my personal and professional relationships. I can relax and have fun, being my authentic self, knowing I am adored as I am.
Ready? Go. All right, what were you saying? With your vast knowledge and the way in which you approach the world and people, and knowing that you've literally done everything, you're kind of like a mythical goddess who can address a problem that I didn't even know I had. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. All right. So I've talked about some of the challenges that you may be facing in your relationships. I've talked about myself a little bit, and I've talked about, well, actually, I didn't even have to do, well, when I did the talking, I started crying because I'm not cool. I'm a little sappy when people win. And so here's some of the dream come trues. But here's the question. Why aren't you in a relationship that you want to be in right now if you're not? And there are 3 reasons. You don't want to be in a relationship right now. You don't have the skills. You don't believe anyone's worth it, or you don't believe you're worth it. I witness these thoughts in my social circles with people week after week. They're debilitating. I mean, you can see how passionate I am, how much it matters to me. It's just brutal, and they're in so much pain. It's relentless. And the cost of these thoughts is massive. It affects their health. It affects, literally, you have only a small time. I've seen life in fast forward. You only have a small timeline in this existence, in this format. I don't know anything beyond this, but, make it good. So the cost of these negative thoughts is, like I said, it is just terrible. How many amazing and talented people are still hiding behind some curtain, and they're lonely and they're lost and they've lost their self-worth and their sense of value? How many people are not living their best life and loving all of their relationships as a result? And I liken this to being in a huge stadium, and your favorite performer is performing, and your job is to find your seat with your one perfect person right next to you. And you have to get through all of these people to get to your right connections and your one soulmate, and what I've learned is you can have more than one soulmate, but for your right place. Here's the great news. These thoughts are just thoughts. They are not the truth. They can be changed and transmuted. They can be alchemized into something more true. about who you are and how you uplift others and yourself in this life. So then, if you change the thought, you can change the feeling and you can change the action. So I know there's a couple people who are chatting to me here online. You know, how do I find the right love for me? I didn't want to date online. I couldn't afford a bad date. My family couldn't afford me to go out on a bad date. It's exhausting, frustrating, boring, disappointing. I'm too old, too fat, too set in my ways to understand, or to be, I'm too undesirable, too X, too Y, too Z. It's all of it. And then we go, well, can't the right one for me just like knock on my door? So if you're changing your thoughts, you're changing the feeling, and then you can change the action. It's actually just one click pivot, I call it. It's just outside what you're used to doing. It may not even be outside your comfort zone. Just you can't see it because it's a blind spot, but I might be able to. So this is the antidote to the pattern we call imposter syndrome. And it's unraveling this pattern requires vigilance and practice, but it is so worth it. For those of you, raise your hand if you know what good love is. So worth it. As well, good love, loving yourself, because when you approve of you, and then your truth, everything shifts. I cannot wait to support the unraveling of the amazingness that is you. No more playing small, no more waiting for everything to come your way. Let's go figure out what it is and go and get it. So let's take a moment and chat with me here. I'm going to pull us out of this. Let's go a little bit more interactive. Oh, but then I don't have this. And let me see if I could get that back. Here we go. Define relationship ready for me. Your definition. So we defined relationships, but what would it mean to be relationship ready? Nice one. I wonder if I can get that. Life is too short not to pretend you're magnificent. Atticus, love it. Okay, good one. I can receive and give. That's good relationship ready definition. This is another one. I know that we all think this sometimes. Deal with the baggage. All good. The ability to have adult conversations. Yeah, sometimes I got chills on that. Having the hard conversations, and I know going through the relationship ready process, we do have hard conversations, because if you can talk about the difficult stuff, especially early on, it makes everything easier, because then you don't have to worry about what is taboo, what can I say and what can't I say. And that is not something you want to worry about in a relationship. Having an open mind, someone that offers value, trust, emotional support, emotional intelligence, and loyalty. I love that. Realizing that no one's perfect and you have to take the good with the bad. There's another one. These are all really good. Know myself well enough to even know what I want. Yeah. Because if you put, somebody asked me the other day, what are the two biggest errors people make when they're going into the dating pool? And I would say, one, not knowing yourself well enough. So, and then putting out what you think someone else might want to be attracted to, and maybe they will be attracted to it, but it's not you. So put your authentic self out there in the world, whether it's online dating, if you're getting the right job, make sure it's the job that you actually really want. Don't apply for the wrong job. Don't apply to the wrong relationship, right? Because it might seem fancy and good anecdotally, but then you get into it and go, this is actually not me. So make sure you're in alignment with that. These are fantastic. Know myself well enough to even know what I want. Be ready to be responsible. Be ready to be authentic. Be ready to be workable with others. This is gorgeous. Thank you. Those are all definitely great definitions of being relationship ready. So let's see if I can go fancy here. And share this from the current slide. All right, give me a thumbs up or something to make sure that you're seeing this correctly. And we'll move forward because I have so many surprises for you. What are you looking for in your relationships? And okay, thank you. Oh, we're in presenter view. I'll try it again. Otherwise you're gonna know all my secrets. Because my secrets are in the notes. How's that? Thank you. So what I've seen is what people are looking for in relationships is companionship. And I see people are laughing with me because we had talked about, if you're following your loin, that could be a thermometer. It's not a thermostat of a relationship. It's saying, this is good, but it's not really adjusting things. So making sure that when you're looking for relationships, you're finding companionship, you're developing friendships, because without it, your relationships are difficult to know how healthy they are. And they might be based on something that's not always in alignment and it won't be enduring. We want to make sure that it's great to have things and activities in common, but really for the long term, having values in common. Having companionship is great because it's hard to be attracted to someone you don't even like that much, right? Another key that I've heard from people is respect is what they're looking for in relationships. The feeling of admiration for someone and honoring and recognizing them for who they are, what they've achieved, or what they're capable of. It's that recognition and acknowledgement that actually reflects back on us as self-respect. And then also you get some glow of other people's everyday life and what they're achieving as you are associated with them. Empathy and a shared experience is what people are looking for in relationships. This is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. That's, we were on the deserted island and now we are actually having, we're having interactions on the deserted island. It's no longer deserted, right? Companionship, curious if you see a difference between companionship versus partnership in a relationship. We can do a deep dive on that one in the course. So empathy and shared experiences, this is letting our partner know that not only are we attentive to them when the relationship is fun, but we're listening and concerned in all situations. And it's someone saying, I understand your perspective. I get it. I get it. Vulnerability. So I did an entire study on the secrets of happiness and how to get there. And vulnerability came into play because in relationships, being able to be vulnerable and feel safe to share what's close in your heart is literally the definition that there were several studies that came together, and that was really the through line through all of them. It means that you recognize what's valuable in your partner and in the relationship. Vulnerability means that you're honoring your relationship with the realest and most raw version of you. And my friends are chatting in, only the brave are vulnerable. It's totally true. It's totally true. Accountability. It's being responsible for your actions and your partner's actions. You can't outsource your happiness or your unhappiness. And there are things that are going to go wrong in every relationship. So knowing that you can flow together, just like my client was saying that together in his marriage with his wife, the two of them are facing the world and they go through things together. It's changed him from being on Pain Island to Pleasure Island, and he has someone walking the journey with him. And I mean, I'm gonna start crying again, so we'll just clean that, right? Understand and consider the effective outcome on each other prior to taking action. That's one of the definitions I think I keep hearing over and over. Being in a relationship with someone is desirable when we are confident that they will make decisions in our best interest on our behalf. And we used to say at least one of us should be happy. But making those unified decisions or considering the other person when decisions are made. So how do you know if your relationship ready? You know who you are and what you desire and need. You know who they are and what they desire and need. Obviously, this is a process. And relationship expectations come into play. So a lot of the times what people are saying is, I want certainty. And if you want to know where you stand in a relationship, I find that very easy to see, but I'm also on the outside of your relationships. But here is the simplest way that I've figured out to explain this. There's from chemistry to casual to committed. So this is attracting, keeping, and enjoying the right love in your life. And this is a little bit of the outline of what we're going through in the relationshiping course, or the art of relationshiping. When's it okay to date? Strategies, they call it falling in love for a reason. How to say no to the wrong people, how to say yes to the right people. Online dating, oh my God, online dating is perfect practice. It's like junior high all over again. You can make all the mistakes in the world, and oftentimes it's not really held against you. How do you find the right match for you? Are you making decisions in your head, in your heart, in your body, with your gut? Are you relationship ready? Common obstacles and sabotaging patterns. Oh, again, sometimes you need someone who knows and adores and loves you as an outside voice to help you really figure out what's going on. Otherwise, we keep repeating patterns. Keeping it casual, feminine and masculine energy, making it safe for your partner to share what's in their heart. You've got game. How do you send the signals you're interested in moving things forward, especially physically? What are the relationship languages and superpowers? Going from magical thinking to magical reality. How do you identify red flags and green lights, and what do you do about them? Attachment styles, the benefits of conflict in relationships. Can you even imagine? It's so vital. And when you're ready to move forward into a more entwined relationship, it's setting your relationship up for success, how to partner with your partner, how to extend the communication and connection, even all the way into an intimate way. What are your mission and values aligned with your partner? They will tell you where you're going and why. How do you keep the passion sparkling? Well, there's novelty, there's mystery, there's arousal. All of that is included in this program. So the question is how to choose the right partner in a changing world. Can love fit the puzzle piece? And you go through and you go, you're not it, you're not it, you're not it. And finally you go, it's a match. But you need to know who you are and what you desire and need. And you need to know who they are and what they desire and need. And I am putting this in here. I don't expect for us to do a deep dive on this right now, but I'm putting these points in here, particularly if somebody is watching this webinar later, they can go through this and they may not have my help with them, as most of you do. So they can pause it and, go through the steps. And then if you need help, reach out and I'll help you. But here it is. This is the crux of everything as far as I'm concerned. How do you go and fall madly in love with yourself, your partner, and your life? This is the relationship cycle. I thought everybody knew this, but evidently not. So going from discovery to and chemistry to interactions and casual to a committed relationship, I need somebody to give a testimonial while I clear my voice. And the beauty of this is this. Every relationship goes from chemistry to casual to committed. And once you go through that, something magically changes. Like you meet someone, you get closer, you have interactions, you decide, we'll call each other, we're in a relationship. And then you're in a whole new phase and you go through that same cycle again at a new level, like a spiral staircase. And as you're going around and around and around and you're having these interactions and experiences, it's a lot like Chutes and Ladders, where you're like climbing up and wow, this is great. Everything in common is amazing. And then as you go and you're going up the ladder, you go, ooh, that's a deal breaker. It's not going to happen. So relationship cycle often tends to be like chutes and ladders. Okay, let's do a drill down on this one because this is super relevant. And I find myself repeating this on most of my coaching calls at one point or another. So in the discovery phase, and this could be a new relationship with someone. It could be a new relationship with, I know I have a couple here who are about to have a baby. You are about to embark on a new relationship spiral. And it's going to be your relationship together as well as your relationship with your new baby. I know that I've got in this group somebody who has just taken on a new job. It could be your relationship with your new job and maintaining the relationships that you have in your personal life. And they intersect like Olympic rings and they affect one another. So in the discovery phase, this is a time for exploration. It's when a transformation in the relationship occurs. When you encounter love, for example, and it starts to look and feel and taste and smell like it's a fit. So good. On closer inspection, there are enough gates that remain open that you step further into this relationship in this discovery phase. And then on the next level spiral, you and this new love have changed as a result of being together. And upon rediscovery, there's a transformation to either grow apart, like the shoots, or when you wish to stay together, the ladders. And then you accept what you can't change and go, you know what? I really love our differences as well as what's the same. And that's really a mindset adjustment as much as anything else. So together you see life differently because you're seeing it together. That's the discovery phase. And it's all about in that instant, you see this partner with curious eyes. Everything is right. This love transforms into something new and deeper with roots to create a third self, you, me, and us. And this is where it's really good. If you can please find the red flags here so that you know whether it's not a love connection or the green lights where you know you put it through the relationship spiral funnel and you go, yeah, this is a love connection. One of my clients was looking for love online and was complaining that this guy she had not even met yet wasn't communicating enough with her. So misaligned expectations. And I asked her, how do you get guys to do what you want? Because that's what she was saying. I want them to do what I want them to do. I'm like, I can't really get people to do stuff. And she responded, so, it was like, well, how do you get guys to do what you want? Because that's what she was asking. She says, should I throw sex at him? And I'm like, oh boy, would you fall head over heels for a guy if every time he wanted something, he threw sex at you? That could be a relationship. But in her case, she said no and laughed. And I said, invite him in by letting him know who you really are. Set your standards like at the very beginning to be sure he's the right kind of person you'd like to be attracted to. And what are the deal breakers and why he should be connecting with you. So there it is again. Why should he be connecting with you? Because you can be interesting and interested and even flirtatious without throwing sex. But I loved the term. Should I throw sex at him? I love that. So thank you for that. And then we're asking, well, then how? And we can rely on the law of attraction here. And this one's so good. I have a friend. I mean, actually, I have a lot of performers. Maybe I can, oh my God, the sex fairy, you're right. Maybe I can get one of my performer people to do this, but I have a friend, she's like, oh, I know how to do this. I would go into a bar in Manhattan and I'd sit down. I'm going to try and do it, but forgive me, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as she is. And she said she'd sit at the bar and she had this posture she would take and she'd ground herself. And she would choose someone in the bar and she would make eye contact with him. So making eye contact and smiling. This was literally textbook how to do this. And the mirror neurons are going to copy what you show, but don't project anxiety like, I'm gonna have to try and say hello. She just had it going on. So then there's this attraction is two bodies moving closer together, and it's instantaneous. So she'd be like, and she'd make eye contact and she'd smile. And then she'd even just lean in a little and literally just getting closer. And then, and then she would, just kind of acknowledge. And then she played a little flirtatious and hard to get. And she said she would put her hair behind her ears. So she would touch her hair and touch herself and look away. Inevitably, the person would come over and she'd be like, oh, hi, I didn't see you there. And she would say something. And I'm cracking up. LOL, my ex-girlfriend said I was housebroken in a good way. Confidence is key. I'm loving this. You guys are too much fun. So there's like some real tactical things that you can do to move through the discovery phase. Then we're going to get into the chemistry. The allure of romance is exciting. It's an exciting adventure. When you meet and believe this is the one, it's the one you've been waiting for. And by the way, they're out there waiting for you. So why wait? You're making your perfect person wait. That's just not kind. And you're like, everything is perfect at first. And you're seeing like everything is right. And you can't wait 2 minutes without thinking of this person, because you get a dopamine hit every single time you think about them, and it makes you blush. And in this phase, people will tend to lose their appetite. Or it's the same substance as chocolate is falling in love, and you can decide this is who you want to be with, and it's changing who you are, and it's making you feel more empowered and grounded and more of who you are. And you first connect in thought, and then you share time and values together, and then you share experiences together, and you can't imagine being without one another, and you get closer, and you figure out a way to share more and literally get closer. You may move in, decide something permanent because I can't live without you. You may decide to marry if you have cycled the spiral and you see no flaws. But here's the pearl of wisdom: set the stage of glow that makes you feel good and warm inside to prepare you to understand and withstand what comes next. I love this guy. And what comes next are the interactions. The interactions are encountering alignments and struggles. So this is the stage when opposites attract is a distraction. Why can't you do or be more in alignment with me? And there tends to be conflicts that arise when we realize the flaws. So in discovering chemistry, we're looking for everything right. In interactions, we're starting to see what might not be right. And their differences then magnify. And how you navigate them will determine whether you should stay or whether you should go. And in this phase of interactions, you get to know the person in a whole new way. You may try to change them. And in reality, remember, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself, and they're a reflection of you. Or you could just get tired of fighting and saying it's not a working relationship. But what I love about the interaction phase is it's like we're moving into a point where things get comfortable and we know what to expect. And the one rule I have in every relationship is show up. Show up emotionally, physically, mentally, and be present in the present. So going from, I'm just going to take a little sidebar and then we'll come back to this, because at some point somebody's asking me, yes, and it does work as we get older, it all works. How do you move through these different phases? And so, yes, it's going in a circle, but then once you're hit on chemistry, casual, committed, you're going to elevate the whole situation. So in the casual phase of a relationship, I love this part, because what happens is every experience that you have gets comfortable, and you can like look forward to and you can know what to expect. And many times we actually really enjoy the comfort of knowing what we're anticipating, and we know what's going to come, and that's exciting. So we think the chemistry and discovery phase is good. Knowing what to expect, that's good. That's even better. It's like your favorite food or your favorite place or your favorite adventure. The dog's having a dream behind me, if you're wondering. So from chemistry to casual to committed, in the casual phase, the communication needs to be there. There's three things: communication, trust, and respect. And I call this triad. If one of them is failing, you need the other two to support the relationship. So in communication, is there enough? There either is or there isn't. The trust needs to be there. It's straightforward. And the respect comes from that. But here's what's beautiful about this. As you move through the relationship spiral and the relationship cycle, these elevate and grow together. So you tend to then grow with more communications. You build more trust, and you'll be a little bit vulnerable at a time until that turns into respect. So it happens very naturally and organically when you allow that to happen. So that's where we go with the casual phase. When you want to multiply that and you want to amplify the relationship, then how do you move it into a more committed relationship? Then you bring more of the communication in, you have the hard discussions, you talk about sensitive issues. It's an intimate conversation, literally. And that can be verbal, nonverbal, in looking out for one another. And at this point in a committed relationship, the trust has to be high, and thus the respect. And that's really people behaving in a committed relationship, behave in a way that even when that other person's not there, that they would be honorable in that. So it does show a lot of respect to the relationship in that way. And that's communication in relationships, from chemistry to casual to committed. All right, I have some surprises for you. I obviously am a relationship coach, and a lot of what I'm doing here is sharing with you about this relationshiping program. But to elevate the conversation, I have invited some people with the most amazing skills and experience and expertise. My coaching includes more than my voice. And we can say, raise up with the violins or trombones, tone it down. Whatever my clients need, whatever the group is needing, I'm inviting in people in their voice. So I'm going to try and invite some of these people who are here to speak to themselves. But let me share with you, when you join this program, you get videos with many of these presenters already presenting, and you get live videos so you can interact and ask the speakers your own questions in their area of expertise. So for example, Coltrane Lord, she unlocks your divine feminine. And if you're masculine, gain access to the secret mysteries rarely shared. Cheryl Bigman steps in front of the camera and helps us understand how to present yourself well in virtual meetings and put yourself in the best light. Josette Gelvaz, rock star stylist, tapping into the science of creating your unique stylized look to catch the attention you desire, so your physical appearance personifies the most magnificent version of you. Rosine Kushnick, she is helping people when they're missing the spark in their dating life. So if you're mystified about why it's not going so well in relationships or in dating, Rosine answers those questions from a different voice. Amari Ice, he's the Prince of Hearts. So Amari talks with us about the most foundational skill needed in dating, the ability to discern if someone is a good match for you and how exactly you do that. So it's all about self-matchmaking 101. Janet, let me see if you're here. I'm gonna I'm going to take a moment and promote some people to panelists because I know I've got a couple of people here. So thank you for bearing with me. This is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but here we go. All right. All right, I just didn't want to miss anyone. So Janet Farnsworth talks about changing the story from battleground to bliss. And she's all about celebrating your body in a really healthy way. Sequoia, you can step up. 15 seconds. You want to talk about what you're going to share with us this round? Sequoia is backed by popular demand, I will say.
Wow, thank you so much for inviting me. Do you want me to actually go on camera as well?
I don't really know how that's going to work, to be honest. There we go.
I don't either. Oh, there
you did it. Take the screen. You got it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sequoia, and I just happen to be playing my guitar while I'm here participating in this wonderful webinar. And I am a Tantra sex coach, and I teach you how to play your partner's body like an instrument. And that's what I'm going to offer when I'm here with all of you in this Relationshiping 101. I'm so honored to be here. And yes, hi, I see some people I know in the audience. And, sending all my love. And if you're interested in up-leveling your sexuality and creating some sacred experiences of ecstasy, I am your Tantra sex coach. Thanks for letting me be here with all of you. Michelle, your webinar is fantastic. I appreciate it.
Thank you, darling.
Love you.
Love you too. We love having Sequoia along as well. Sean Coe, trusted advisor for all things. Plus, he's my partner in the he said, she said on relationshiping in every aspect of your life. Karen Laurie, learn how most women stop themselves from full pleasure with sex and how to change it. Learn the secret to inner radiance. Learn fun ways to keep yourself tuned in and turned on. Cheryl, would you like to speak? You want 15 seconds of fame here? Cheryl is also backed by popular demand, talking about the energy that we bring into relationships. Have I think I've got you there.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Yay! Look at your beautiful
Michelle. Yeah, I had such a great time last time. And so I'm a spiritual teacher and energy healer. And what I loved talking about was the chakras with respect to relationships. If we understand the chakras and how they play into relationships. And then we did some live chakra readings to help people assess where their strengths are with respect to relationship in the chakras, where the energy is flowing well, and maybe what needs to be healed and empowered.
Thank you, Cheryl. Also backed by popular demand because there were such incredible shifts. When we have love in our lives, everything changes. When we feel safe, everything changes. Thank you, Cheryl. Kirsten Barrington Hughes. Oh, Kirsten, do you want to speak for yourself? I don't know if you may or may not. I don't know. Kirsten is an incredible photographer. Okay, I'll speak for her. And she says, I'd be honored to capture your story in my lens. My lens is your story. And Kirsten has photographed many of the film festivals in the area, as well as up and coming pageant stars and movie stars. And she's like the photographer to the stars. And she's going to be talking with us about how to present yourself well in professional and personal images, as well as in virtual meetings. So it totally applies to everyone. And then we have Shane and Angelina Saunders. They're going to be tuning in from Australia. Their business is Let's Breathe. Know thyself, the best you is the best for everyone. And Shane and Angelina and I got into a debate one time, and we're going to go ahead and throw it here. Shane had posted something about the yawn being the best thing that could happen to your body. I, of course, had to represent the O and just say, it seems good. Does that get any weight in this debate? So we are going to finally have the debate, yawn versus O. Are you ready for all of this? It's going to be so much fun. This is the framework I take people through when I work with somebody like my client Jennifer in my book. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. For Jennifer, it was because she had 2 kids. She wasn't planning on her life changing so drastically. I'm going to try and change. So presenters, can you mute yourself, please? And our panelists. Thank you. I'm gonna make that change for us. Thank you. So this is the framework I was talking about. This is the framework I'm taking people through. And obviously it's not the only way that people realize they've just had an identity change and that maybe it's time for a change, but you don't want to wait until it's too late. Here's the thing that I want you to know. Because most people don't do the work and they think I can just hold on a little while longer, or it's just what I'm used to, or it's just the way it is. And on their own, they're afraid to look at what's really going on. If you're listening to this and you know you're ready for a change, I'm happy to spend some time with you and talk you through it. Because it's important to know what the clear signals are, that there is a separation between who you are now and who you are living your life, who you could be. If you're getting that signal, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling like all of the things we started with in this whole program, if you're feeling like misaligned expectations, if you're getting a sense that, you know, there could be something more, or you're not being seen or heard, then it's time. These are the signals. Listen to your emotions, listen to your inner voice. This says, I thought I could do it on my own, but maybe I can't. So reach out and say, I can live my best life in such a fun and glorious and loving way. It doesn't have to be a life of suffering. It really doesn't. I had a woman reach out to me and she was saying, where were you when my sister-in-law needed you? And she was completely lost. What had happened was her husband had passed and she got a payout and she spent it. She spent it all. She'd never held a job. She'd never learned to budget money. So she wasn't relationship ready. She wasn't stable enough. And she had 2 kids and they got lost in the fray. And her son got involved in a group that was involved in risky and dangerous behaviors. And he died as a result. And then the daughter and the mother had not only lost the husband, but they lost the brother. And the daughter had had enough because the mom didn't know how to handle it. And so she became disconnected from her mom. So not only did they lose the father, they lost the brother, they lost connection with the sister. There was too much loss. And that kind of suffering doesn't need to happen. It doesn't. Find the secrets to make connections that last. And I'm happy to share the instructions. You're welcome to set up a free call with me. And I'm going to tell you how to make those calls. I won't ask you to indulge your personal story here, but if, you know, people are afraid to ask for help, they think I'm supposed to have all the right answers. Remember those people? So if you're listening to this and you know someone, or it could even be you, here's the thing I want you to know. I'm going to share the instructions to set up a free call with me. And if you'd like help to get this message out, share this with someone else, because life is better with good love in it. I know I have a client who was saying, I know how to avoid procrastination and burnout that was causing me severe health issues, and severe. And I know not addressing it sooner cost my marriage and relationship with my kids. Michelle is helping me create my own business, rebuild relationships, and I'm enjoying finding new clients as well as helping those who have hired me. She thought she could do it on her own, but it wasn't working. And the procrastination that she had and the burnout sent her into the hospital many times before she reached out for help. At some point, you'll start to wish for something more in your life because it's going to cost you your health, relationships, revenue, resources, loneliness, illness, and ultimately regrets. You're worth more than that. Another client says, despite how strong and successful I am intellectually and professionally, my personal relationships suffer, and I cannot understand why. I wish I had an opportunity to learn from Michelle 30 years ago. I would have avoided decades of suffering. I would not have married and divorced the person I did. Now I want to keep this marriage. Michelle has provided me with the insight to be successful in relationships, and I know how to lead challenges in relationships with grace and ease to become closer as we navigate challenges together. You can do it on your own, but why wait until it's a crisis to see how much better off you will be with a guide? One of the things, and we talked about this even before we started recording, was the importance of developing psychological safety. It's this creating a space where you can take risks without fear of negative consequences to your self-image or any other aspect of your life. And we'll set guides and landmarks along the way so that you know that you're on the right path and that you can adjust course, and you'll know when it's time to adjust course. So this is the relationshiping course, because life is better with good love in it. Through this program, every relationship in your life will improve. You'll have the ability to grow even your best relationships. Come see how life-changing this series can be for you. If you would like to set up time with me, I've created more space on my calendar. So go to relationshiping101.com and you can download the essential tips to building an online dating profile that works. You can do this right now, because if you scroll down a little bit on relationshiping101.com, you can schedule time with me on my calendar, and I've created space. I have room for only 3 more people on my schedule right now, so please do it quickly. And my gifts to you are downloading this essential tips guide on relationshiping101.com. You're also welcome to a free copy of Life Worth Living, and you just need to go to yourlifeworthliving.org and you can download it there. You can even put your phone up to that bug, and I'm happy to share this gift with you. And also there, you can also set time on my calendar. So that's the story. And I'm so glad that you are all here. This has been super fun. I'm so excited to share the art of relationshiping with you and how it's going to change your life for the better.